How many superfoods can you think of that have a cult following as big as this? Perhaps some, but none have maintained such popularity for decades on end. That's because many trendy health foods are based on nothing but hype, and hence, eventually, that wears off. There are websites claiming that apple cider vinegar is good for your skin, acne, wrinkles, freckle removal, follicles, hair loss and gray hair, weight loss, diabetes, blood pressure, cholesterol reduction, heartburn, detoxing, acid reflux, colds, coughs, flu, arthritis, whitening teeth, and even cancer rumors. Which of these purported advantages are based on scientific evidence and which are just speculative? You first need to understand the basic characteristics of ACV for everything else to make sense. Since most kinds of vinegar are low calorie, people often assume they must be healthy. It turns out the opposite is true. They actually have the potential to be bad for you, especially in high dosages. Vinegar. If you follow an alkaline diet or simply want to reduce your acid-forming foods, is there a safe dosage to consume? Is using too much vinegar bad for your health? Better yet, should you avoid vinegar altogether? That's a great question. In fact, in the United States, you can't even legally sell something and claim it's vinegar unless it has an acidity level of 4% or higher. Even the healthiest vinegar, apple and coconut, still have a pH of 5, which is far below a neutral pH of 7. What is apple cider vinegar good for in the human body? Because even though it's acidic, it has an alkalizing effect on you. It's not as simple as just consuming alkaline foods and avoiding those which are acidic. Many acidic foods can actually have an alkalizing effect on your body, even though they're acidic. Take a look at the pH values of some common foods below, which are alkalizing to your body after they're consumed. Apple cider vinegar alkalizes the body. ACV, in addition to the vast majority of fruits and vegetables, are indeed very acidic substances when you consume them. However, once they're inside your body and you metabolize them, they promote alkalinity. This is due to the metabolic and chemical processes which take place to break down and digest them. For the most part, the alkalizing effect of foods is only the case with plant-based. Like vegetables, the vast majority of animal products also have acidic pH values to begin with too. However, unlike vegetables, their effect in the body is acidifying instead of alkalizing. Compare the pH value of apple cider vinegar versus white wine, red wine, balsamic, and the other common varieties. You would think they would all behave in a similar manner, right? That's not the case. Similar pH values, different outcomes. With the exception of coconut sap vinegar, all of the others have an acid-forming effect once they're metabolized. So not only are they acidic, but they trigger the creation of even more acid when you digest them. That means you can categorize the other kinds of vinegar with butter, beef, and other acid-forming foods. Chronic metabolic acidosis and its side effects. This is a condition where there is too much acid in your bodily fluids. Depending on the severity, this can affect your vital organs, cardiovascular system, kidneys, liver, pancreas, insulin levels, and many other parts of your body. There is a large amount of research that suggests an acidic environment promotes tumor growth. Some research gets quite specific for certain types, which looks at signaling events believed to be occurring specifically for cancer cells of the breast. For when the acidosis is diet-induced, its link to cancer is possible but not conclusive. However, that research does not warrant the unfounded claims by some that apple cider vinegar is a cancer prevention method or treatment. Contrary to what some blogs erroneously claim, there are no medical studies that have evaluated ACV- neither in diet nor as a supplement, for cancer treatment or preventing it. To be clear, all of the diseases discussed here can happen within an optimal pH environment, too. What most research suggests is that there is an increased risk for some diseases when acidosis is present, because the cells are not functioning as they should. Resulting side effects may include bone diseases and muscle degradation. Research has suggested that a chronic condition of living with acidosis has the most profound effects on your musculoskeletal system. It can contribute to or worsen pre-existing bone diseases. Researchers from the World Health Organization Collaborating Center for Metabolic Bone Diseases, the University of Sheffield Medical School, the International Osteoporosis Foundation, and Oxford University put together the incidence and probability of hip fractures worldwide, as published in the September 2012 issue of Osteoporosis International. If milk does a body good, as the dairy industry says, and if more calcium equals stronger bones, then why, as the study says, do countries with the higher calcium intakes have the greater hip fracture risk? An increasing number of prominent minds in nutrition and science have suggested that our modern westernized diets likely have something to do with it. In the Western diet, we overdose on acid-forming foods, such as meats, dairy, and processed foods. On the other hand, fresh vegetables are alkalizing. This may be one reason why studies have shown that people who eat no meat or dairy tend to have a pH that is more alkaline. Despite the fact that these plant-based dieters may have lower calcium intake, they still have a bone mineral density compared to omnivores. Insulin resistance and its cascading effects. Even in healthy humans, the slightest degree of acidosis causes insulin resistance. The same source cites the modern Western diet as producing a lifetime acidotic state and goes on to discuss the cascading effect this has on contributing to type 2 diabetes, kidney failure, cardiovascular risk, and more. Diabetic patients, in particular, are called out because they consume particularly acidogenic diets. Regarding cardiovascular risk, animal studies have suggested that acute, or temporary, acidosis will affect the cardiovascular system the most severely. Though chronic, or long-term, acidosis does not seem to have a major effect on cardiovascular. Skin rashes and eczema, but no proof for acne. When the very elderly have dermatitis and other skin diseases, it's hard telling what caused it. But how about when it's a 6-year-old boy? A medical paper from 2012 looked at a 6-year-old Vietnamese boy who presented with recurrent episodes of severe metabolic acidosis precipitated by intercurrent illnesses. In this case, the acidosis was apparently triggered by a gene mutation that prevented biotin metabolism. Fortunately, it was highly treatable by giving him biotin supplements. Before that, while he had acidosis, he had extensive skin rashes throughout his body. That evidence suggests that even in young people, acidosis can be bad for your skin. Since the human body can respond to acidosis in any number of different ways, it's not inconceivable that pimples may be a possible side effect. That being said, we have not been able to locate any reputable medical studies which specifically link the two. Varicose vein study. With all that said, it is true that people are using it for some topical purposes without being harmed in the process. Published in 2016, it doesn't sound like this study was evaluating or even suggesting that ACV could help with the appearance of spider and varicose veins. Rather, it was whether or not it could benefit the side effects, symptoms, and social appearance anxiety which accompanied the varicose vein treatments that were administered by their doctors. The conclusion was that the ACV increased the positive effects of conservative treatment. This isn't anything to get excited about in our opinion, since it was evaluating whether the vinegar harmed them when applied topically. It was not claiming or suggesting that ACV was a varicose vein treatment. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.